The Winnipeg Jets open the NHL playoffs tonight as underdogs. They're in Vegas to take on the top-seeded Golden Knights. But Jets fans are still feeling optimistic about their chances. The CBC's Brittany Greenslade is in downtown Winnipeg and joins us now live. So, Brittany, Vegas is the favorite in this series, but that doesn't have Jets fans too down.
No, Jets fans are being used to being the underdogs. We don't mind it because we know what we can do and what we can perform. And we know that those fans are so excited that the Jets are just back in the playoffs because they didn't make it last year. So there's a real excitement in the city today. You're starting to see Jets fans wearing that whiteout gear. They're wearing their jerseys. They're walking around downtown. It's a sunny, beautiful day here. Even though there is a snowstorm on the way, it's just the way we do things here in April. We want to bring that white out because that game is in Vegas tonight, and it is a bit of a later start on a Tuesday, an 8:30 game for us here, but fans are still excited. They're still ready to go down to the bars, to fill them up, to cheer on their team. We've talked to a bunch of businesses around downtown Winnipeg today who said their phones have been ringing off the hook since those games were announced and since those times were announced. Their reservations are just completely full. We know some for Saturday especially, which is going to be that first home game, and it's a 3 o'clock start, that people are really excited to get back out here, to get out and support the Jets. And we know that tickets sold out for inside the arena as well, and that's really, fans want to be back. We haven't been able to be inside the arena for playoffs in a while, seeing as we didn't make it last year. And then in 2021, it was just a few hundred fully vaccinated healthcare workers. So this is really the first opportunity for Jets fans to be back inside cheering on their team during the playoffs. And, you know, 2018 wasn't our year. Many people were hoping that the Jets were going to be able to bring home the Stanley Cup. And fans right now are looking for redemption because it was the Vegas Golden Knights that knocked the Jets out in the third round. And so while there are different coaches and while there are different players on the teams now, many people are looking for that redemption. They do want to see us push hard against the Vegas Golden Knights and push through the first round and continue to make it on.
Like you say, Brittany, snow is on the way, and perhaps fittingly, Winnipeg is famous for its whiteout parties when the Jets are in the playoffs. So what can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're here at True North Square, and this is going to be the first time the True North has been used for its party in the plaza. There's going to be 1,000 people that are down here on Saturday for the home game, and then also that whiteout party over on Donald Street, where 5,000 people will be taking in the whiteout party over there. Again, first time we've been able to do this since 2019. Those tickets sold out in under an hour. People super excited for this first home game on Saturday. It doesn't matter the temperatures. As we said, we're going to be getting a whiteout here, which is fitting for that first away game, but Winnipeggers are going to be bringing that white out here on Saturday and hoping that they can cheer those Jets on to a win.
Okay, Brittany, thank you for this. The CBC's Brittany Greenslade for us in Winnipeg. Well, the Maple Leafs opened their quest for the Stanley Cup tonight, too, at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Leafs hit the ice earlier today for one last skate ahead of Game 1. Toronto fans are hoping this is the year they can finally get past the first round, something they haven't done in a long time. This is the 7th season in a row the Leafs have made the playoffs, and they didn't make the second round in any of those years. It won't be easy this time either. The Lightning have played in the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row, winning twice. For more on the Canadian teams vying for the Stanley Cup, I want to bring in Jesse Blake. He is the co-CEO of SDPN Sports, and he's joining us today from Toronto. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me. It's a nervous one today.
Well, let's start with those Leafs. I think there's probably a few nervous Toronto Maple Leafs fans because we all know the story. 6 straight years of first-round losses, haven't won a playoff series since 2004. Is this the year that they can maybe make it out of round 1?
It better be the year because the Lightning haven't been playing well at all coming into these playoffs. And like you said, you only get so many kicks at the can. And this core, they've been together for so long. The GM, Kyle Dubas, doesn't have a contract past these playoffs. If they don't get it done this year, it's truly, hey, the Leafs got to blow up the roster and go in a different direction.
Well, we were hearing from a young fan earlier who was saying that he'll be patient, he'll hang in there, but I'm not so sure, Jesse, that others in that city, in the city of Toronto, are going to be quite as patient as he is. But also want to talk to you about the Winnipeg Jets because they're also, as we were just saying, beginning their playoff run tonight. They limped their way through the end of the regular season, just barely made the playoffs in the last wild card spot. Does this Jets team have what it takes to beat the West top team, the Vegas Golden Knights?
An upset isn't looking likely, but they do have one of the top goaltenders in the National Hockey League in Connor Hellebuck. But the Vegas Golden Knights, one of the best teams in the Western Conference, they're getting their captain back in Mark Stone. Jack Eichel, who came from the Buffalo Sabres over to Vegas, is going to be playing in his first ever playoff game, and he's going to be amped up for this. It's going to be a real tall task for Winnipeg to beat the Golden Knights, but when you have a great goaltender, when you can put the puck in the back of the net like Mark Scheifele can, like there's a shot. There's a chance for Winnipeg to steal a couple games in this series, and who knows what can happen.
Who knows what can happen? That is the beauty, the fun of the NHL playoffs. Edmonton. We have to talk about Edmonton as well, because a lot of hockey watchers are saying that they might be Canada's best shot at the Cup this year. Of course, postseason got off to a bit of a rocky start last night with that loss to the Kings. Should Oilers fans be concerned after that defeat?
I don't think you should be concerned at all when you have the best player in the world in Connor McDavid. Wednesday in Edmonton is going to be a must-win game for them because you don't want to go down 2-0 to the Los Angeles Kings, going back to Los Angeles with the series. So I think they pick up that win. I think they recognize the importance of not going down 2-0. And like I said, when you have the best player, when you have the supporting cast in Leon Draisaitl and Evander Kane and Zach Hyman and all of the stars that they have in Edmonton, they shouldn't be concerned. Watch out for the Kings because they're a very underrated team, but I think Edmonton takes care of business on Wednesday.
And when you look at these three teams, Jesse, more broadly, do you think that any one of them has what it takes to break this 30-year streak of no Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup?
Oh, yeah, there's a real good trio here of teams that could go to the Stanley Cup final. Like in Edmonton, it's one of the top teams in the league, the best player. The Leafs, great core that's been together for so long. This could finally be the year that they put it together. And like I said, with Winnipeg, great goaltending, timely scoring, they could go on a run as well. Canada's got a great shot this year at one of these three teams making it to at least the Stanley Cup final. And then when you get in the Stanley Cup final, as we all know, you got to play the games, and then who knows what happens when you play these games. And Canada's got a good shot at a cup this year in these three teams.
Can I put you on the spot and ask you, of the three, who you think has the best shot?
Well, I'm in Toronto. I am a Leafs fan, so this is the most biased take you can get, but it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. If they can get through Tampa, they got Boston waiting in the second round, I think, because Boston's probably going to defeat Florida. They can get through Boston. They have a shot. Toronto's a really good team, and we finally might see the year that it all comes together. And I don't know. As a Leafs fan, I'm rooting for them to win the cup every year, and this could be the year.
You never know. We will see. I'm sure somewhere someone is saving that clip of you, and it'll either be played back to you after a victory or a loss. But either way, Jesse, thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate this.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Jesse Blake is the co-CEO of SDPN Sports, and he joined us from Toronto.